how to know how to be a true disciple of the Spirit. We're going to talk about that right now. How do we know how to be a true disciple in the Spirit? Before we get into this, I want to encourage you to subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment, leave a like, and we'd love to hear from you. But hit the subscribe button, please. How do we know how to recognize a true disciple? What is a true disciple in the Spirit? Let's go to the book of John, chapter 12, verse 25 and 26. It reads, "He that loveth his life shall lose it, and he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal. If any man serve me," he says, "let him follow me, and where I am, there shall also my servant be. If any man serve me, him will my Father honor." Now listen to this. He said, "He that loveth his life shall lose it." What is he talking about? Now, this is an all-consuming, deep call to discipleship. Now, discipleship honestly is for everybody. You are in discipleship right now. You could be in discipleship for your career. You could be in discipleship for sports. You could be in discipleship for hobbies. Whatever you might call it, it's discipleship. Why? Because discipleship comes from the root word of discipline. Whatever you are focused and disciplined in, that you will become. But the Spirit's calling you to discipleship in the Spirit right now. Like I mentioned, it's an all-consuming, deep call. A call that not everybody responds to. Why? Because it involves a surrender of all other pursuits of life. Whatever you're in right now, it could be second. It needs to be second, whatever you're in. For example, your careers, sports, whatever it is, that must become second when you're called to deep discipleship. The problem with that is not everybody's willing to give that up. But nothing is as important as to the will of the Spirit. When the will of the Spirit comes to you and calls you, you must put it as priority in your life. That is a true disciple. Are you putting the Spirit as a priority in your life? Are you pursuing after the things of the Spirit? That's the question. Now, remember when Jesus said that the kingdom, that a camel, it'll be easier for a camel, rather, to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom. Why did he say that? He said that because a rich man has so much. A rich man has so many valuables that he is not willing to put those things second in his life. He is not willing to put those things that he holds as valuable, all those things, all those rewards that he had, all those things that he accomplished in his life, those things that were given to him, that were passed down to him. For some reason, those become the most important in his life. But Jesus looked at him and said, "Sell everything you have. Give it to the poor." He said, "And come follow me." This was a deep call right there in the face of the rich young man. But he didn't accept it. Not everybody. Now, many are called, but few are chosen. They're chosen because only few are chosen because not everyone's willing to give that up. Can you put the Spirit first in your life? To recognize a true disciple, the Spirit must be priority in everything. It must be priority in his careers. It must be priorities in front of his family. It must be a priority in front of your mother and father. It must be a priority in front of the elders. Now, I'm not telling you to be rude to your elders and disrespectful, but they have their place. The Spirit must supersede all that. That is the way to recognize a true disciple. The problem is that we're not willing to give up because we're scared. Now, a true disciple can see where his future is at. Now, when the Spirit calls you, it calls you, but it doesn't leave you ignorant. It calls you, and it also tells you and informs you the future. That's the thing about the call to be a disciple. It will let you know in visions or a dream or through a powerful word through the ministry. It'll let you know where your future lands if you decide to give up those things that the Spirit's calling you to give up and calling you to deeper depths and higher heights in the Spirit. When you go deeper into the Spirit, when you go to higher heights in the Spirit, it reveals to you your future and where you will be after you go through the discipleship. Now, because not everybody's willing to do that, this is what Peter asked Jesus himself. He said, Lord, we've given up everything. He said, but what do we get in return? Everybody gets something in return. And Jesus told him, he said, those that forsook everything, those that forsook their careers, those that forsook their boats and ships, he said, their living, their nets. He said, for those of you that forsook everything, he said, you will be blessed 100-fold. In other words, you will be blessed unlimited. He put a great number on it, 100. But you'll be blessed so much that you won't even be able to count it. That's the thing about discipleship. The end result is always the greatest. I know men that followed Christ and followed the Spirit, having nothing. And these are very intelligent men. But after following the Spirit for many years and going through trials and tribulations, but still being on that right track and following after the Spirit, they become so disciplined and focused that today they have so much and they are so blessed. They have doctors, they have lawyers underneath them. They have properties that they're blessed with. They have schools that they're in charge of. They have churches and many pastors and many ministers and disciples underneath them. Why? Because they have decided to follow after the Spirit. They were not afraid to give up what they had to give up. They were not afraid and embarrassed in front of the people. They weren't worried about their reputation anymore. When you become a disciple, you do not worry about your reputation. The Spirit leads and guides you, and you go where it goes, and you become sensitive to His voice. If you don't know the voice of the Spirit, I want to encourage you, get into your prayer closet. Go somewhere alone so that you can learn the voice of the Spirit, so you can know the direction, and you could feel where the Spirit is calling you to go. So you ask, what if you become a disciple? Will you be blessed? You better believe you'll be blessed. But it's only the Spirit that will reveal how He's going to bless you and where the end result is going to be. That is a true disciple. Giving up everything, following after the Spirit, and not looking back. Don't look back. Keep going forward. Being persistent. And it'll get tough. But if you keep going, like those disciples did, it got tough. They weren't blessed right away. It took some time. But as time went on, because the Spirit uses time, it created time, so it's going to use time. And as time went on, the disciples had many people coming to them, throwing their valuables at their feet. And when they threw it at their feet, it was to support them and to support the kingdom. You see, treasure and blessing doesn't come just so that you can enjoy the pleasures of the blessings, but it's to support the kingdom, to help the kingdom go further in this world. Through discipleship, you will be disciplined in the Spirit, and the Spirit begins to trust you and to entrust things with you so that His kingdom can go forward. Can you become a disciple? Yes, you can, young person. Yes, you can, young millennial. You can become a disciple. Just follow after the Spirit and let go what you got to let go. God bless you.